Hey everyone, I'm Harrison Kelly with Weekdays here at BYU-Idaho Radio. I'm joined by Maya Peters-Grano. She's the registrar at the Art Museum of Eastern Idaho. She manages the permanent online collection that's pretty new here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about this permanent collection. I know it was made possible by the Henry Luce Foundation out of New York City. What inspired this permanent collection?
So the museum has started the permanent collection in 2004, which is 2 years after we opened. So we've been growing it since then. 22 years? And we've slowly been collecting artwork that is significant to Southeast Idaho, so local artists or artists who have a connection. And we also have some artwork that's important to the history of art in general, like a Picasso print. What's new is that we got a grant from the Henry Luce Foundation, as you mentioned, and we've been able to digitize the permanent collection, and now it's available online. So anyone can access it from anywhere in the world and look through all of the art we have, learn about the artists, the artwork, see different exhibits that connect themes that are present in our permanent collection.
So is this collection mainly for people who can't come into the museum to be able to view those art pieces there? Is it a lot of the same pieces you would see coming in here, or are there any exclusives?
Well, it's all the pieces that we have in the building. However, we don't have enough space to always have a display of the permanent collection available to the public. So this is a way to kind of compensate for that. In part of it is to compensate for that. So say that you were really looking forward to looking at some art of Southeast Idaho, but our current exhibit is something else completely unrelated, such as it is right now. If you come in, we currently don't have any artwork from the permanent collection on display, but you can go online and look at it. It's also a really valuable resource for researchers who might be interested in artists in the area. I know someone from Idaho Public Television recently reached out because they're thinking of doing a piece on Idaho artists and said that they found the permanent collection helpful. We're also hoping that it will be a really valuable resource for educators in Southeast Idaho and maybe even beyond that.
That's incredible. And we talked about earlier the Henry Luce Foundation. That's the reason this is able to happen. Mm-hmm. How did that partnership come about?
Well, I started here a year ago and I wanted to put the permanent collection online. I wanted to make it accessible to people, to support our mission of making the arts more accessible to all. And I needed funding. So I started looking around, seeing who shared similar values of sharing artwork and exhibits and permanent collections and keeping it safe and making sure that the public has access. And the Luce Foundation has similar values. You can look them up on their website. They're very open and clear about them. And so I applied for one of their ongoing grants, and they were happy to help.
So it's through a granting process that you can get the funding to make this possible.
Exactly.
So you have to apply. It's kind of like applying for any other sort of grant.
Yeah, that's correct. So I just applied, told them what the project that we wanted to work on was, and they decided to support us, which is amazing. We're very grateful.
That's really cool. Now, I want to know just your thoughts yourself. How do you feel about this digital space? Do you feel like it'll change the viewer's connection to the art in any way?
Absolutely. So I think the really fascinating part about the online space is that you can use it if you can't come to the museum. So I don't think that the online permanent collection is meant to replace our permanent collection. I think it's just an additional resource that people can use. Obviously, you can't compare looking at artwork in person to looking at it on a screen. It's not the same. You can't tell the texture, you can't see the hues and how the light changes, how you might see the artwork, the feeling that you get with its size. If it's big or if it's small, you might view it differently than if you view it on a screen. So it's not meant to replace the experience of coming to an art museum and looking at it. It's just meant to enhance the resources that we can provide to the community. So this is, let's say, I don't know, you want to learn more about artists in the area. Instead of, planning a trip down to Idaho Falls, if you live in Rexburg or Rigby or Pocatello, Sugar City, right? you can go online, decide if this is something that you want to spend time with, and then make the trip down here. We also hope that teachers can use it as a resource in conjunction with our free online resources for teachers. So our website also has lesson plans that teachers can use in the classroom. For example, how to make a self-portrait, and they can guide students through the ways of making a self-portrait, and then they can go to the online permanent collection and look up all of the portraits that we have in our permanent collection, which they can use as examples for students, guiding examples for students, essentially.
So it's kind of a billboard for like what to expect when you come in here to some, and then to others like educators, it's an additional tool for them in the classroom.
Exactly.
That is really cool. And I guess, where do you want to see this collection going in the future? If you had it your way, what would you want to see the effects of this in the future? Where would you want to see this going?
Oh, I think it would be wonderful if researchers could use it as a tool, because right now like I said, Idaho Public Television reached out. They're just looking for some baseline information, and they were able to use it for that. But one of my goals is to add a lot of contextual information to all of the artwork. So right now, when you look at the permanent collection, you can see the artwork, you can see the medium, who made it, who it was donated by, the dimensions, etc. What I'd like to do is have descriptions and contextual information of that artwork, especially artwork that represents areas in Southeast Idaho that maybe don't exist anymore. We have several of those pieces that depict, areas of Idaho Falls that were torn down and turned into something else, or aspects of our culture that don't exist anymore. And it would be
like the water tower.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I knew exactly what you were nodding at.
The water tower. Right now, we have a painting of the water tower, and
I saw that
will be important historical, artwork in a few years. So we have a lot of artwork like that I would love to write more about, do some research, about the area, the artist, the artistic qualities of the artwork, and add that to the collection so that more researchers can use it in the future.
So the exhibit would basically be the bridge between the gap with history and research for this area.
Exactly.
To really kind of, like what you're saying, is documenting with that artwork.
Yes, some documentation. It would also be great once the museum expands to be able to use it as a powerful resource within the museum. So before we did the online permanent collection, we had an Excel spreadsheet that kept track of all of the permanent collection for us. While sufficient, it's not ideal. And so now with this online permanent collection system, from our end, we're also able to track where each artwork is within the permanent collection physical space. Sometimes there is artwork that's hanging around other parts of the museum, so we can also track that through this collections management system. On our end, it keeps track of the value of everything, if it's damaged, how long ago it was repaired, if it needs any upcoming care, how to best care for it. We can keep all of these detailed records of the permanent collection within the context of the museum for us that will help us better care for it and ensure that it doesn't get damaged and that future generations of Idahoans can enjoy it. So
not only you're providing these really cool pieces to the public, but you're also using it to help organize the museum itself. Mm-hmm. I can see how that would be very helpful.
Yeah, that was another important part of the Luce grant. So part of it was digitizing the permanent collection and making it available to the public. The other half was making sure that it's properly stored within our building. So we have a climate-controlled space that makes sure that the temperature and the humidity of the space where the artwork is stored is up to standards of best practices. What the Luce Foundation money allowed us to do was also get acid-free materials like folders, boxes, adhesives that will ensure that the artwork doesn't further deteriorate with the years as it's stored.
So their money didn't just go to this collection, but it also goes to helping preserve what you already have and what you're going to get.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So not only, it's just the funding that came from them is going to be very beneficial all around for the museum.
Yeah, right now and for the future.
Wow. That's really cool. You guys were able to get that grant. I got a few more questions for you.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, what's the mission of the museum, the Art Museum of Eastern Idaho, and how does this exhibit align with that? We already talked a little bit about kind of the cool benefits that are coming from this collection, but what do you feel the mission is and how it will?
Can I add something to a previous question that you said? Okay,
please,
when you asked about, I was talking about expanding and how the collection can like tie into also keeping track of everything for us.
Right.
So we're working on fundraising for an expansion of the art museum.
Wow.
Which would include much more gallery space, much more classroom education space, potentially a maker space, a library, meeting rooms, and a larger permanent collection space. And with the expansion, the online collection management system that we're using, Catalog It, can also help us keep track of everything that we have, not only with the permanent collection, but also the education collection, also the library, and also any other project that we have going on internally.
When do you see that happening?
It's coming in the future. We're fundraising right now. The projected timeline is to start building at the end of 2027.
Cool. Yeah. That's really cool. A lot of plans for the art museum.
Yeah.
I want to know this about you though. What's your favorite piece in this collection, or what's the piece in this collection you like to see the most, or you're the most excited for?
I don't know. I have a lot of pieces that I like. I like the photographs a lot. One of our most prolific donors, if you will, her name is Helen Farrell. She recently donated a bunch of photographs from the 1930s to us. 1930s, 1940s.
Of the area, or?
No. Just historic. You know what? My answer should be some artwork from the area.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. Literally what you like, what you're most excited to see.
Okay, let's see.
This is what you're most excited.
What I'm most excited to see. Okay, I'll give this answer. My favorite sculptural work is called Smarty, and it's a blue horse. And he has so much personality. We try to include him in any open house or event that we have. He's usually a centerpiece. And he is just so moody in a fun way.
How is that shown? What about his personality do you see in that piece?
It's just his posture with the piece, and the support structure for the sculpture also contributes to this. It's basically looks like two semicircles connecting his legs, and his position just looks really regal and proud, and he's blue. I mean, you don't see blue horses very often.
It's kind of like Paul Bunyan's cow.
Exactly.
But it's a horse.
Yeah, and I like that I get to hold him sometimes when I move him from the storage room into the museum public spaces. I get to transport him, and I like being able to hold Smarty.
Smarty the horse, the blue horse.
The blue horse.
Is he on the floor right now?
Not right now.
He's in the back.
But I can show him to you.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That's awesome though. So when can people see Smarty? Can they see him online? Is he a part of the online collection?
People can see Smarty online. And you can either go to the permanent collection tile that houses all of Tam's permanent collection and scroll through until you see him, or you can search Smarty in the search bar and he'll pop up.
That's so cool. Yeah. This is very interactive.
Yes, it's very interactive.
You can see the museum without being here.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, we developed a bunch of keyword searches that people can keyword search. So you can search by medium, for example, watercolor, oil, sculpture, the type of artwork that you want to see, like a painting, a portrait, a still life, a landscape. We even have a subsection called barns and shacks. That's a very popular subject piece for artists in the area. So we made a specific subcategory of landscapes for that. And you can also search by artist. So if you're really fascinated in a specific artist, that we have in our permanent collection, you can search their name and see their artwork and learn more about them.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. And then this part, I don't know if I'm going to add it in because it's not even an official question. I'm just curious. Mm-hmm. Do you guys do any partnerships with the art department at BYU-Idaho?
I'm unsure. I know we have had some BYU-Idaho faculty and professors exhibit here. I think one of our clay teachers potentially taught at BYU-I as well. I don't know that we have any active partnerships, but we're always open to stuff like that. We do accept interns from BYU-I to complete their internship requirements for their degrees. Malia, my coworker, that's how she started here. She was an intern for her degree. So if anyone wants to collaborate in any way, we'd be open to that. I just don't know that we have any active collaborations.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. What's the mission of the Art Museum of Eastern Idaho?
Oh yeah, our mission is to make the arts more accessible to all. So that means whether through education, having free admission days, we provide free admission for foster families, Shoshone-Bannock tribal members, children under the age of 5, service care providers, who else? Oh, we have free admission Saturday, the first Saturday of the month. We also have free admission during Art Walk, which is the first Saturday of the month during spring, summer, and fall. Oh, we also provide free admission for active military and veterans through the Blue Star Museum Alliance. Yeah, we have provided all of that. And then, again, outreach and education. Now the permanent collection. Our goal is really to make it so that museums don't seem like a barrier to people, but like somewhere that they can come and learn and hang out.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool. And they can see what's here before they come. So they can say, I want to see that in person.
Exactly.
I'm coming to Idaho Falls.
Yes, just don't count on it being on display.
Right.
Again.
Do you guys label what are on display and which ones aren't online?
No, not right now, but that is an option that we could investigate if people are interested. I think the software that we're using allows for that. So we could, like I said, we use it to keep track of the artwork internally. So that could be available externally as well.
Well, thank you, Maya, for coming on the show with me and talking about your permanent collection. You guys, if you want to check out the Art Museum's permanent collection, you can go to their website at theartmuseum.org. It's the Art Museum of Eastern Idaho here in Idaho Falls. Come check it out in person or view it online at theartmuseum.org.